Welcome to Value Vest Daily, where we analyze the best value and momentum investment opportunities. Today, we're tackling a question that I know keeps a lot of parents up at night. Is it really too late to build a serious fortune for your kids? We're going to show you how just $100 a month, yeah, that's it, can grow into a legacy you might not think is possible.
So let's just get right to it. This is the big question, isn't it? It feels like you're constantly hearing stories about people who got in early on something and now they're set for life. It's so easy to feel like you've completely missed the boat. But what if I told you that you haven't? What if the game is far from over? We're going to explore what's actually possible, starting right now with what might just be your coffee budget for the month. Okay, before we get into the what to buy, we absolutely have to talk about the why this works, because the most powerful tool in your entire arsenal isn't some secret stock or a fancy trading algorithm. It's time, plain and simple. In investing, time is the one thing you can never, ever get back. Every day you put this off isn't just a day lost, it's actual future money that's vanished. So what's the secret sauce that makes time so incredibly valuable? It's this word right here, compounding. Honestly, this is the closest thing to real magic you'll find in finance. Think about it. It's not just that your $100 earns a return. The real trick is that your returns start earning their own returns, and then those returns start making money, and so on and so on. It starts off so slow you barely even notice it, but over the long haul, it becomes an unstoppable financial force. I absolutely love this analogy because it just makes perfect sense. Picture a tiny snowball at the top of a huge snowy mountain. For the first, say, 10 or 15 years, you're just rolling it along. It's getting bigger, sure, but it's not super exciting. But then it hits a tipping point. It starts picking up snow faster and faster all by itself. And in those last 5 or 10 years of its journey, it's not a snowball anymore. It's a full-blown avalanche of wealth. The whole key is just giving it the longest runway possible. And if you think that sounds like an exaggeration, well, this is where we turn that idea into cold, hard cash. Look at this. If you start investing that $100 a month the day your child is born, you're looking at over $100,000 by the time they're 20. But here's the painful part. Look at the cost of waiting. If you start when they're 5, you lose out on over $55,000 of future wealth. Wait until they're 10? That delay has cost you $85,000. It's brutal. Every year you wait makes the mountain you have to climb that much steeper. Okay, so we've established our fuel source, which is time. Now we need to talk about the engines that are going to turn that fuel into forward motion. For this plan, we're zeroing in on 2 specific ETFs, QQQM and FTC. The simple way to think about these is that they're basically baskets filled with stocks from some of the most innovative and fastest growing companies on the planet. So what's the difference between them? Well, you can think of QQQM as your all-around growth engine. It holds the 100 biggest, most innovative companies on the NASDAQ. It's very tech-heavy for sure, but it has some other stuff in there too. FTC, on the other hand, is a specialist. It's a pure-play bet on technology. It's more focused, it's more concentrated, which means it could be a bit of a bumpier ride, but the potential for higher growth is definitely there. And you can see that difference when you look under the hood. They're both packed with the names you know, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, but you'll notice FTCT's even more top-heavy with those big tech names. QQM, though, brings in a giant like Amazon right there in its top 5, giving you just a little bit of a broader reach. Now for the fun part, let's look at the specs. First up is the expense ratio. Think of this as the cost of ownership, like the annual maintenance on your car. And right away, FTEC has a clear win. It's cheaper to own, which means more of your money stays working for you. Next, CAGR. That's basically the average return per year over time. And again, you can see FTEC has had a slight edge historically, and the projections suggest it might just keep that edge. So you're potentially getting more horsepower for a lower price. All right, now for the moment you've been waiting for. What actually happens when we take our $100 a month, we plug it into these growth engines, and we let them run for 20 years? This is where that snowball really starts to feel like it's moving. Check this out. Here's the payoff. Over those 20 years, your total out-of-pocket investment is $24,000. But look what that becomes. Thanks to the magic of compounding, that $24,000 blossoms into nearly $100,000 with QQM, or even better, over $113,000 with FTEC. I mean, your money has more than quadrupled. That's a real college fund. That's a down payment on a house. That's life-changing money, all from $100 a month. Okay, but what if? What if we let that snowball roll for just one more decade? What happens when we stretch that timeline from 20 years to 30? Well, my friends, this is where the numbers go from really, really good to absolutely mind-blowing. This is where you stop building a head start and you start building an actual financial legacy. So first, let's get our bearings. Over 30 years, that same $100 a month adds up to a total of $36,000 that you've put in. It's not nothing, but it's totally manageable, spread out over 3 decades, okay? So get that number in your head, $36,000.
So, what can that $36,000 become? In a good scenario, with a high-octane engine of FTEC, it could grow into more than $640,000. Just let that sink in for a second. Your $36,000 became nearly 2/3 of $1 million. That is the raw, incredible power of compounding unleashed over 3 decades.
And look, this isn't some fantasy pie-in-the-sky number. Even in a conservative scenario, you're looking at close to 300 grand. A realistic outcome gets you to almost $500,000. But the most important thing to see here is what happened in that last decade. Remember how we were at about 100,000 after 20 years? That extra 10 years didn't just add a little bit more. It multiplied the final amount by 4 or even 5 times. That's the avalanche.
I mean, just read that quote on the screen. That's really the whole story, isn't it? This whole thing boils down to that one sentence. It's not complicated. It doesn't require you to be rich to start. All it takes is consistency and the decision to begin as early as you possibly can. So let's boil it all down. If you walk away with anything today, let it be these 4 things. First, just start. Seriously, today is better than tomorrow. Second, be consistent. Set up an automatic transfer for that $100 and forget about it. Third, stop worrying about timing the market. Your superpower is time in the market. And finally, never ever look down on small amounts. They are the seeds of a mighty financial forest. And of course, we've got to say this, and it is incredibly important. This is all for informational and educational purposes. We're not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. Please do your own homework and think about talking to a professional who knows your specific situation. Hey, if you found this helpful, if it gave you some food for thought, please do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, give this a like, and maybe share it with another parent who needs to see this. We're here every day to help you make smarter decisions with your money. And one last thing before you go. We'd love to hear from you. Are there any other investing topics, maybe something a little more high risk, high reward that you're curious about? Let us know in the comments below. We might just tackle it in our next explainer. Thanks for tuning in.